Oh, Carmelian.
The price of Carmelian.
Oh, I'll just have to look it up.
I mean, gemstones don't. It's not like an item. They're often used as a like an alternative to currency. So different gems are valued at different amounts. So if you got a really big piece of carnelian, that'd be worth more than a couple of small pieces.
Well, I have 4. You gave me 4. I don't know how big they are.
Yeah, perfect. I don't remember where I gave them to you, but that's not the point.
No, because I wrote it down and I remembered I had them, and then I remembered that Stu needed them, and then I was like, oh no, I'm going to keep these because that's what Della would do, because she didn't have a lot on her at that time. But yes, I don't remember. I've also got a decorative silver mirror, so I think I got that roughly at the same time. I must have looted it off someone. Maybe them wolves before we got into Whiterun. Maybe that fight then.
Maybe.
I think if I remember looting some stuff without people noticing. Or I got nothing.
Yes, you did.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, I'd say it's more than some stuff. I think there's quite a lot of things that Della has that the rest of the party don't know about.
Well, not anymore, because we all got robbed, didn't we? And
That's true.
I have given away quite a bit of my money, actually pretty much all of it, for reasons.
For reasons indeed. There we go. Right. Well, maybe we'll find out what those reasons are today. Probably not, but we can dream. Welcome back, listeners, to Tales from the 20 Side, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition Let's Play podcast. My name is Dom. I'm the GM for this game and for many others, and I'm joined by Stu.
Hello.
I'm joined by Neil.
Hi.
I'm joined by Darren.
Hello.
And I'm joined by Amy.
Hi.
Welcome back, everyone. How are we doing? Just having a nice conversation about gemstones there?
Yeah. Sparkly gemstones.
There we go. So just
get this weapon made.
Out of curiosity, Stu, just to refresh my own memory, what does Alwyn think he needs in terms of gemstones?
2 carnelian.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs a diamond. He'd already given him some sapphires. I think that was for the striking.
It was the ice quartzes for the striking rune.
Ice quartzes for the striking rune, yes. Yeah, sapphires came into it somewhere, but he's already given those over. Yes. No, I think that's it, the carnelian and the diamond.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was something else that you were looking to do, but if you've forgotten it, I'm not going to remind you. You were acquiring some gemstones from a certain NPC.
Oh no, I don't remember it all.
Fair enough. In that case,
my memory is shit.
In that case, that is lost forever. Whatever opportunity that was. Maybe you'll remember a bit later down the line.
One thing Alwyn has got that he's not had a chance to inspect yet, because he got it from one of the lockers in the bone grinder, is a bandolier with some glass files in it.
Oh, yes. I'd forgotten about that.
He's not had a chance to look at this yet.
He hasn't. Yeah, you sort of inspect this bandolier, Stu. Sorry, we haven't started the game yet. It's really weird. How have we slipped accidentally into gameplay?
So like we're kind of to find out, but we're all like tucking into bed now. So
well, no, we're about to go out and do some scouting.
Oh yes, sneaking things, which is totally a good idea given we're all wanted.
Yeah. And there's a curfew.
Yeah. Oh, is there a curfew?
Oh yeah.
No, we probably shouldn't read that.
I don't believe there's a curfew.
Oh no, I'm wrong then.
I mean, if you want to believe there's one, then by all means believe there is a curfew.
There is for us.
Is there a curfew for the slaves?
24-hour.
That's it. There's a curfew for slaves. They have to be in bed, sort of back in their places by sundown. That's now canon. I don't care.
They're slaves. They always need to be in their place.
Controversial opinions with Stu Jackson.
That's not my
really good
personal
work
opinion.
ethic if they don't need to
was
be out and working though after the sun's down. It's not bad. Especially somewhere like here. I'm sure the sun's not up for very long, given it's all wintry.
You think your slave has to be at your master or your mistress's beck and call, so if you're out and about, you've got your slave with you.
Well, that's an interesting thing about White Throne is that it's not hard slavery in that sense. It's more like a caste system, as we've kind of previously established. Like slaves in White Throne, they do have, although they are considered the property of people, they do have a degree of personal freedom. Like they walk around unchained. They wear clothing in a similar style to the people they serve. Obviously not necessarily as grand usually, but it'll be in a similar sort of style. Yeah, they can go around about their own business or on business unsupervised. They have calling them slaves. It's a bit of a misnomer, really, when you sort of look into the law of the city.
Do they get paid?
They do not.
Well, there we go then.
But
Maybe we should
employment
free
is just
everyone.
slavery with extra steps.
And we're back to controversial opinions with Stu Jackson.
That's from Rick and Morty.
I know.
The new trailer's just dropped in the past week.
They're doing a new season.
Yeah, season
sweet.
6.
I thought they were finishing it.
They've got like 100 episodes to get done in total.
Oh shit!
100 years.
Wow.
100 years Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty
100.
100years.com.
100.
Good to know.
Right, anyway.
As we're
Yeah.
all looking like we're about to drop off, I think I'd better get a recording done before I lose everyone. What do you reckon?
Let's do it. We got a dragon to deal with.
Yeah.
Yes.
Deal with it.
Exciting. I wish I knew more about dragons, because Della would be even more excited. Amy's excited about dragons.
Well, maybe Della could go and find a library in the city, see if she can learn,
She
learn
did
something.
think that, but then she's not really a bookish person. So she'd probably rather find out about the dragon by attacking the dragon.
Ah, yes, the fuck around and find out method.
Yeah.
The
Good at that
hard way. Also known as...
Right. So, with all that in mind, who would like to give us a quick recap on where we find ourselves? Don't all jump at once.
Well, we have got ourselves back into the hideaway of the Knights of Summer's Return. We're reunited with Amos, who has safely escorted what we're calling them the Shamblers back. Shamblers were brilliant, and their third seminal album was. Anyway, Amos the Shamblers. No, that's just like realistic. Yeah,
That's our party name.
we've been told we are wanted by the law, just like we were in a certain village. That ended well for them. And there is a dragon flying around who is captain of the guard that we need to deal with, distract, get rid of, kill, however we get rid of them before the Knights of Summer's Return can create a distraction so we can get into this hut and save the world
Yeah.
by dropping blood-soaked stuff into a cauldron.
I feel like there could possibly be a few more steps in the interim there, but by and large, yes, that's what you have in front of you.
Those
Processes
are the
have
question
been
mark
simplified.
steps before the prophet.
That's it. Undisclosed number of question marks.
Many.
Cool. Awesome. So then, I assume you're all excited to jump back in. You all look like you're ready to go to sleep.
No,
I'm excited.
have a go at this dragon. I've got this cool dagger that I can ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Do I
just
have
to
to
be
like?
clear. Go on.
Oh, it's like, do I know how to? Do I just ask a question, or do I
you
have
do know
to do
how to-
something?
You do know how to do it.
Okay.
I was meant to write you an item for this, and I forgot. I'll be honest.
Okay.
Basically, you know, Della, that you kind of have to awaken the dagger with your blood. It doesn't have to be a lot. Basically, you sort of have to use the dagger to cut yourself or prick yourself enough to do at least a single point of damage.
Okay. Well, I'm not going. Well, the first thing, and this really irritates me in films, is whenever someone has to do this and they cut the palm of their hand, and
Yep.
it's like, why? Why do that?
Why would you
It's
do
so
that?
ridiculous. I know, it's really silly. So, the more sensible place in my mind would be the top of your forearm, because that's
Mhm.
not going to get hit by anything. So that's what I would do. Are we ready to do this? Shall I just do this at the table, dramatic like? Whoa!
Yeah.
Well, hang on. What question are you going to ask?
What weakness does Logrovich have? That's his name, right?
Logrovich, yes.
Logrovich.
Logrovich.
Logrivich, but close enough.
Logrovich. I feel like these things you have to be really specific.
Logrivich.
Logrovich. So what weakness does Logrovich have?
Okay.
Weaknesses.
Because that can't be answered with a yes. Which is the main thing that I want to avoid.
Yep. Is Logrovich a dragon? Yes. Fuck.
Yes. Damn it!
Next, donuts, custard, or jam.
Or what weaknesses does what's his name? Logrovich.
Exactly. We've got to be prepared for this kind of special thing.
Do you want to make it even more, just in case there's another being called Logrovich in the world of Galarian? Go here, Logrovich, the White Dragon in White Throne.
Yes, the Logrovich, the white
What?
dragon.
Are you thinking of writing him a letter? It says to Logrovich, the White Dragon in White Throne.
In the clock tower.
In the clock tower.
8:10.
All right. So that sounds like we're getting back into the game. Della, you're sort of you've been talking with your allies about this this dragon problem that you have in front of you. Perhaps absent-mindedly, you've been sort of playing with the dagger in its sheath. So I'll turn it over to you, Della. What do you wish to do?
Okay, so I will pull out the dagger and then I will cut my arm to do myself. Can I judge? Do I have to attack myself, or do I have
it's
to? Yeah,
it's fine. You can just. I think you would understand. Oops! I cut my throat. Sneak
Oh
attack.
no!
Damn it.
I rolled the decapitation card.
That would be quite impressive and quite horrifying in equal measure. You just
be.
imagine you're just sat at dinner and then one of your companions just beheads herself.
I wonder what the odds of that happening would be. Oh, that would be fun. So yes,
Very,
I'm
very
gonna
low. But yes.
do that.
Liberating
and
step.
then-
No.
Does that? Nah, I need to cause myself the damage for it to work, right? So you can't do it. Yeah.
I won't.
So you sort of go to you go to cut yourself once. Alwyn sees what you're doing, flashes in an intervention, and you watch as the blade just bounces off your skin.
Oh, Owen! We're trying to
Sorry.
do the
Yes.
thing. Okay,
Yes.
but thank you. I appreciate that you're looking out for me still.
It's an instinctive reaction.
Okay, I'm going to take a step back so I'm at least some distance away from Alwyn. And then I will attempt again.
Yeah, you do. You bring the dagger up to you sort of expose your forearm once again. You step away from Alwyn. You reach the dagger up to up to your forearm, and you give yourself a nick across the skin. A faint splatter of red sort of just scatters across the table. And yeah, this blade, Della, now you're feeling it on yourself. It's sharper than perhaps you expected. In fact, you don't even really feel the cut. And were it not for the crimson now sort of trickling down your arm, you would swear that perhaps you would not even manage to cut yourself. Very fine flints you've made. But as you sort of cut into your arm with that, and the blood spatters onto the blade and onto the ground, Della, the rest of the room seems to slow down around you. You see Solvig with a spoonful of stew, sort of gets halfway up to his mouth as he looks at you, and then he stops. Alwyn, perhaps again reflexively about to use Liberating Step, is halfway through a motion of using that ability. Amos has just let out a massive burp and is sort of midway back through it as he's got his head back. And you hear the sound of horse hooves clattering on, not clattering on, rather sort of thudding softly on snow. And your vision blurs just a little bit, and you see, rising from the ground where the blood hit the floor, you see the black plate-armoured, grizzled, elderly form of Ilvarian Tavius. And he looks at you, Della, and he says, "Yes, Miss Thornbury. What do you ask of me?"
What weakness does Lorgovich the White Dragon have?
Logrovich, the Elvana's captain of her winter guard. Yes, I know this being well. It was he who flushed myself and my fellow riders from our attempt to herald Baba Yaga's return before we were pursued and slain. The tyrant in frost, as he prefers to be called, is a formidable foe, but his weakness is the same as any other white dragon. Fire will prove most effective should you have to battle him.
Thank you.
He nods his head in reverence. He says, "Is there another question which you desire an answer to?"
Not at this time, thank you.
Very well. And he turns back into mist, fades back into the blood spatters on the ground, and once again you hear the sound of horse hooves on snow, this time thudding away from you. And your vision clears, and the room returns to motion.
Fire.
Fire.
It is definitely fire this time. Not like last time where I thought it was fire and it wasn't. But this time, I think we can believe.
Yes, because we've had this before, haven't we? We've had this conversation.
We have had this before.
That's good that you know, but when are you going to ask the question?
I just did.
When?
Just now.
I didn't.
And then I'll wave my arm around.
But yes, no, you could catch yourself, and then you just said fire.
Yes. The dagger is magic. So I get to ask this Ilvarian guy.
Well, that's
questions.
Good enough for me. So
Ilvarian Matavius.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know him?
We met him, yes.
Ah.
So
Seems like he's in with...
We go to the tower and we build a fire at the bottom of it.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, we could just burn it. I'm sure a tower sounds like it'd be made out of wood. I feel. But then would a dragon live in a wood tower? But if it's a white dragon and they're weak to fire, then they can't be fire, surely.
I'm thinking if we just set fire to the base of the tower, it'll just fly off anyway.
We need
Set
to find
fire
a way
to
to
the
stop
top
him
of the
flying.
tower.
I can stop him flying.
Can you?
Yes.
Can you?
Otto, you're a much
Yes.
more powerful
That is a
sorcerer than I
challenge.
ever
I should
Let's go now.
I should have led with that. I can
How do you
inhibit flight.
Oh, fuck me.
Ooh.
Right, okay. Let's go. Let's battle him now.
Right now.
Oh, and
Do
get
we
his
want...
shield
Do we
and
want...
his
It's
sword.
a bit late.
Do you think we can get to the top of the tower?
No, we don't need to. We get to the bottom and we set it on fire. And I bind him to it.
Solvig will chime in and he'll say, yeah, I mean, if you were to go to Lagorich's tower, you could certainly climb up. You'd have to find your way through the inside. I think the Winter Guard use it as a garrison of sorts. So, I mean, it certainly wouldn't be as easy as just walking up the stairs. You might have to negotiate whatever else is living in there as well.
We just
That's
burn it all.
doable.
Burn it all.
Yes.
He said fire.
I like Otto's plan. Yes, he imprisons Logrovich, and then we just set fire to the tower. Yes.
Yeah. I'm up for that. That sounds...
Although, not all the Winter Guard are going to be bad people. Some of them are just doing it to make a living. So we ought to give them the opportunity to escape first.
I think that
Well,
would
they
be a
must do
mistake.
fire drills, surely. So
Yes, but if we're
we
setting
just
fire
start
to
a
the
fire,
bottom, they'd have to run through the fire to get out. So no, I
but
think
we could find a way of propelling fire to the top of the tower.
It's
Right.
not
Yes.
as if it's personal.
Yeah. What if we could rig it so it sets on fire when the clock hands move? Ooh.
We want to plant a timed explosive device.
Yes, I'm sure there's such a thing in Pathfinder I could do with magic or alchemy or something.
I think if we're going after this deadly creature, then we shouldn't be thinking too much about collateral damage.
well, no,
from-
you should
from
always
its-
sort of like give them the opportunity.
If possible.
Yes,
If possible. But my plan doesn't allow for that.
Well, no, we need to make it possible. That's why we need to amend the plan.
Then we need another. I think it's a good plan to set fire.
Look,
to
it's-
stop him flying and then set fire to the tower.
I don't know why I was worried. Do you know what? I've just come up with an even better idea. Why don't we wait till he's flying up above us, up in the sky, and then you stop him flying, and he'll plummet to the ground and break his neck, and job's a good one.
How close do you need to get to the dragon to stop him from flying?
It's quite close. Let me have a look.
What's the spell?
Earthbind.
Earthbind. Very nice.
That sounds cool.
120 feet.
100. That's not actually that close. That's a decent way away.
Ooh, this is a good idea.
What if we tried that, but we had a pit filled with oil? If you're going to get the dragon to fall from the sky,
on fire?
Or we can just be waiting with oil to throw the oil over.
Yes, good. Yes, that's
We
better.
can-
Yes.
We can have some jugs full of oil and a wick of some kind, and we throw it, and the jug bursts on him and sets him on fire.
Oh, yeah.
We can be
Molotov.
ready with Molotov
Yes.
cocktails.
Yes. Molotov. We'll have a Molotov cocktail party.
That is brilliant. No, I didn't know you could just...
Stop
I mean,
a
dragons
dragon.
are really powerful creatures.
Yes.
really powerful creatures, and you can just stop one from flying. That's amazing.
I can stop a flying creature from flying. I've never tried it before. It's never come up, but I've been dying to try it.
Oh yes, no, let's go try it now. I'm all for this. And then you could just throw fireballs at it,
and we saw him, so we do know he's about today. We saw him on the way back.
I mean, he might reach the ground safely, but it all depends on. There are lots of variables.
How's he going to do that? If you stop him flying while he's up in the air, he's just going to crash down.
It will certainly bring him to Earth. He might crash down. It might bring, but it might. He might be able to feather his descent.
Right.
I mean, he won't be able to stay in the air, but he could reach the ground without taking too much damage.
And if he's in the tower, well, we just go in the tower. We, encourage everyone to leave. Then we get to the top of the tower where he is. You stop him from being able to fly away, and we'll set fire to the top of the tower. Job done.
Also, the effect is only temporary.
Right.
How temporary?
I can bring him to the ground, but he will soon get up again.
How temporary? If he's already on the ground, so stop him from flying away. How long will we have?
It won't really stop him from flying away. It will bring him to the ground. It'll crash him, but he should be able, if he's undamaged, he should be able to get up again and fly away again.
So what we need is a dragon net.
Yes.
So we can get him down, but it doesn't keep him down.
Right.
Or
that does change the plan slightly, because the plan started with, well, I can stop him from flying away.
That was a hell of a flex. One hell of a flex.
I believe they call that fucker mission creep.
Well, I mean, I can stop him from flying away, but I can make him change course slightly.
Just a bit, yes.
A detour. So fire.
I still like this idea of setting fire to the tower.
Yeah, I just feel like we need to set fire to the bit that he's in, or just under. Because if we... I mean, I haven't seen this place, so I don't actually know what we're dealing with, like what it looks like. But I'd imagine
we
that
should
it's
scout.
a building with a tower. We set fire to the building. It's going to take a while to hit the tower. That'll give him plenty of time to leave without actually being damaged by fire.
But we want to evacuate the tower anyway.
Yeah, but we could just set fire to where he is rather than where all the guards are, and then they can just run away.
Sure,
and then
there's an alternative. I mean, we're talking about going to the tower where all the guards are, where basically they're garrisoned, which it sounds like a lot of bloody guards. And of course, potentially, for a given value of relatively innocent lives, might be lost. However, we can just go to, I don't know, a wide open area of the city where there isn't anybody else, or maybe just outside the city. We saw him flying over the bone grinder, so maybe we can just go out to the fields, throw our hoods back when he's flying over, and say, "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough."
we could go to the tournament and do it there.
Well, no, I think...
Because where else to get our names out than there? And who else would come but the captain of the guard?
Well, no, we'd be a bit distracted and we might get injured in the tournament. Well, we want
can
to be
set
at our
everything
full
on fire.
fighting strength. We need to be
set
at
the
our
place
full
on fire.
fighting strength.
Well, in that case, I don't think running through the tower and telling guards that we're there to set fire to the dragon and that they should
Yeah, I don't
do
want
as
to do
much
that.
good either.
No, that's what I'm thinking now. Maybe if we go out of town, waits is flying over, Otto does his, gonna make you crash, you bugger, thing.
I think
Spell.
we should scout the tower. I think if we can, we should scale the tower.
Yeah.
And then set fire to the dragon.
Yes.
But after we've set fire to the dragon, we'd still have to deal with all the guards. If we lure him away from the tower, no guards.
Or if we just set fire to the tower, no guards.
I like that.
It's killing them.
Yes, unfortunately.
Deli, you're supposed to be the moral compass of this party.
Since when? You're the moral compass of this.
That's debatable.
Since you joined.
Since I joined.
Since when?
Since when? I'll just
That's
be here pocketing my
insane.
treasures and not sharing.
Yes, but I don't know about that, do I? So,
Well, I told you now, because I was like, oh, you can have some of these, because you need them.
oh, I forgot I had these.
Yeah, I did forget that I had them. Well, I didn't. I didn't
I would
know
trust
very
you
much that I
completely.
had them. Yeah. Surprising.
The fool.
You've seen me break into things.
No, I think let's get the dragon away from the tower and away from people. And of course, you set fire to something like that, in a city, you've got civilians who might get hurt.
So,
I mean, a big fight with the dragon, you've got civilians that might get hurt anyway. So I'm thinking about it. The fields outside the town.
we just need to take him somewhere where it's flammable. Is there like an oil refinery around here?
Or a volcano. Can I crash him into a volcano?
You take a quick glance outside, and sadly, you see neither of those two things.
Darn.
No oil refineries, nowhere that sells timed explosives.
I was like, oh, I don't know.
Let's just go and scout this tower because other things.
Yeah,
might
let's have a look
sort
and
of
see what
come
we're dealing with.
To ideas and what have you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I want to have a look at this place.
Should
we
I
all wanna
leave
go?
Chardonnay?
The Chardonnay makes us noticeable.
On the wanted poster was Chardonnay mentioned? I mean,
Yes.
presumably not by name, but yeah,
Yes.
these individuals and a wolf.
Yep.
Yes, maybe I should leave Chardonnay here. If we're only going scouting, we're not going to be fighting or anything.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
Yes. Right. Chardonnay, stay. Shall we?
Let's scout.
Let's go.
Yeah.
As you rise to sort of start doing this, Solvig stops you just as you rise, and he sort of says, you guys are keen. Are you going right now, or are you? Is this a strictly a scouting mission?
No time like the present. I mean,
Our plan is to just scout.
However,
I was going to wink at him.
that's
Okay,
our plan.
well, in that case, allow me to give you a couple of things that might help you. One moment. He disappears off into a room elsewhere in the shrine. He comes back a moment later, carrying a small leather pouch. Which, and as he comes back, we do have a little bit of intel on what's inside there. I might have led you a little astray when I mentioned a garrison. There are certainly Winter Guard there, but not probably not in the numbers you're expecting. However, we know that they do have at least 2 ice trolls in that tower, and there's also a presence from the Jadwigger themselves. Rumor has it that although Elvana sees Logrovich as useful, she's keen to make sure he doesn't attempt to overstep his authority. So there is a White Witch in residence in the tower. I don't know who. I've not been able to find out their name, but that's what we know. And you will need these. And he hands over this pouch of leather, this leather pouch for you. And inside it, he'll hand it to whoever's nearest. So I guess at this point, perhaps Della.
Mm-hmm.
Della, you flip open this leather pouch, and you see inside that there are 3 vials that contain a familiar shimmering red liquid.
Ooh.
These are potions of. These are lesser healing potions.
Okay.
Wait, are they lesser? Hang on. I've misread that. Bear with me.
So there's a dragon, a white witch, and 2 ice trolls in this tower.
And
you still don't
guards.
think setting fire to it is a good idea?
I think getting the dragon away is a very good idea now.
Well, we can have a look and see what we're dealing with, at least.
If we come across the witch and we end up in having a scrap, just want to check, what are we not going to do with the witch?
Don't know. Can't we kill her?
Yeah, well, that might be the idea.
You are given 3 moderate healing potions, Della.
Ooh, 3.
Also
Lovely.
within that pouch, there are 2 strange tube-like objects that smell faintly of what we would recognise as gunpowder. It's that sort of acrid smell that kind of lingers on the nose. Solvig will explain to you. So, I'm going to give you these as a means of hopefully keeping you alive up there. And also, these 2 things, he takes out one of the small cylinders. You can see that it has looks to be a pull toggle at one end. He says to you, "This is a signal skyrocket. Once you've taken care of Lagrovich, once he is either killed or you know for certain that he is away from the city for enough time, point one of these into the sky and pull that rope on the bottom. That will send a signal to all of the basically all the men under my command. Once they see that rocket go into the sky, we will begin our distraction. You can get into the market square."
Okay.
What I will say, we are not any kind of army. We are a militia. We are guerrillas. We're resistance fighters. I'm sure you know that. Like, once you set off one of those flares, we're committed. And I don't think we'll be able to buy you more than perhaps a couple of days at that point. But when that flare goes up, we will cause as much chaos for the Winter Guard as we can to allow you a chance to slip in there.
Right.
And we've got 2 of these.
You've got 2 of the signal skyrockets.
With the moderate healing potions, I'm going to suggest that each of you, because there's only 3, well, I can do healing anyway, so I'm going to suggest that the 3 of you each have one.
Yeah.
And I've got a minor healing potion if it comes to that.
Yeah. I've also got a couple of lessers.
Moderate healing potion.
Yeah, so we've got one of them, and I've also got I've got 2 lessers and a minor.
Should the signal flares be spread out? Maybe Amos?
Sure.
Yeah, you take one.
I'll take a signal fire.
I'm
I'll
thinking.
take one.
I'm thinking. The way we're talking here, this could all kick off very soon. I'm rethinking leaving Chardonnay.
I think we're just being prepared. We're not planning to, but then knowing our luck, we'll end up in a situation.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe we do want to be prepared. he would make us a bit more noticeable. That's the only problem.
He would, but I can always. I've got a. Presumably, I've got a blanket or something.
What colour is Chardonnay?
Silver.
So he could just roll in some soot. Especially at night time, that would be a good idea.
That's a good idea. Yeah, there's got to be a fire or something where I can get some.
Yeah.
Soot, presumably, is there?
Oh yeah, there's a small fire burning in the in one of the corners.
Cold fire.
I'll get some soot and hopefully cool it down and start putting that all over Chardonnay.
Sure.
To blacken up his fur. That's really good thinking. I mean, the bits that show, because he does wear barding anyway, so some of his fur will be covered over anyway. Good thinking. Right, there you go, Chardonnay. Disguise. Don't lick it.
Do we have any minor wounds that need tending to before we leave?
Do you think that anyone who may be looking for us will look at us and go, oh no, that can't be them, because that dog's not the same colour?
It's better than nothing.
Yes, that's the plan.
No, it's
he might not
more-
be seen in the dark.
I think Della was absolutely right. I think it's more about not drawing the attention in the first place. Not about, if anybody studies us, yes, of course they're going to sort of recognise us. But it's about them not looking in the first place. And if we all have our big hoods up over our heads and, sort of lurk about in darkness as much as we can, it'll all help.
Yeah, absolutely. And like Catan said, may the shadows veil us.
I do have a little boo-boo from
soot.
earlier. If we can all hang about for 10 minutes before we go,
Yeah.
Arwen will cast Lay on Hands on himself and then get the stein out and start drinking from it to refocus.
Good thinking.
Sure.
Right, I'm better now.
Good.
All right.
I was at full health anyway.
So, are you venturing out to find the tower?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Sneakily.
Fair enough. On a motorbike, apparently. But yeah. So as you take this time to patch yourselves up and get yourselves ready for this scouting mission that might turn out to be more. Who knows? See what you decide to do, I guess. As you're making to leave, Della, with your perception DC, you've noticed that the whole time you've been getting ready, Solvik has sat back down at the table, and he seems troubled by something. He keeps sort of drifting off into thought, looking pointedly in the direction of your little group for a second. Perhaps there's a couple of moments where it looks like he's about to say something, and you notice he stops himself and he goes back to working on some missive or another that he has at the table.
Something on your mind, Solvik?
Yeah, I'll be honest, there is. I wasn't sure if it'd be appropriate for me to ask this of you, because, well, basically I have, I'll confess, I have something of a personal stake in sending you up against Lagrovich. Are you familiar with the opera singer Barclay Belvorica?
Can't say I am.
No, that's okay. He's a fantastic tenor. Sells out opera houses all over Cheliax, where he's from. One of my favorite musicians. He's been in White Throne recently, and I've heard a rumor that Lagrovich has basically taken him captive, and so I wanted to ask if you do go to the tower, could you see if you can get him out?
Of course.
What was his name again?
Barclay Belvorica.
Barclay Belvorica.
Yeah, you probably can't tell this by looking at me, but I have quite a strong appreciation for the opera. I think it's an art form that does a lot for us as people, really. And as I say, Barclay is one of the best to do it. I think if he were to rot away in that tower or be eaten by that dragon, that'd be a great loss, not just to the artistic world, but to our society as a whole.
I think we'd already decided not to set fire to the tower. Is that right?
This gives us a reason not to.
Do you happen to know why Logrovich would have taken this Barclay person prisoner?
It's possibly a bit of dragon's vanity. I don't know for certain. I don't know Logrovich's motives, but yeah, from what I've heard, white dragons, interestingly enough, they have something of a predilection for artistic things. It's quite surprising, actually. But the problem is, like any dragon, they want to hoard them. They want to keep them all themselves. I can only assume that Lagrovich wants Barclay as a private performer for him only.
So we go in, we nab Barclay, we take him somewhere, use him as bait to get the dragon out.
That
could work.
Actually not a bad idea. I mean, if you got a way of actually guaranteeing safety, I don't want Barclay to get hurt in this. It's not his fault. He's been captured, of course. But no, that actually, that sounds like a pretty good idea. I mean, if you can get Lagrovich out of that tower, I mean, yes, he'll have a bit more freedom in the sky, but it sounds like you've got a plan to deal with that.
I've just had a cunning plan.
Oh,
Cunning
good.
plan?
Yes, it can't fail.
That's
Why
my
don't we-
favourite kind of plan.
I know, right? Why don't we go to the tower, get some Winter Guard uniforms from the Winter Guard that's there, hopefully without killing people, but, if it happens, it happens. As long as we give them the choice. And we put on the Winter Guard uniforms, go up to Logrovich and just say, oh no, Barclay's escaped and he's been shipped away to this other country or land or something. And then Logrovich flies off into the sunset looking, I mean, the sun's already set, but you get the idea. Looking for Barclay.
I have a feeling he might be the kind to shoot the messenger.
I have a feeling he might be the kind to see through that.
Yeah. But I like the idea of sneaking in as Winter Guards. We could do that to nab Barclay.
Well, I was thinking we'd have to go in, beat up some Winter Guards to get their uniform.
Yeah.
I'm guessing,
But
Solvik, you don't have any Winter's Guard uniforms lying about, do you?
I'm afraid not. They keep surprisingly well controlled. I mean, you could probably take I mean, obviously, right now we have him in another safe house, but you could take some gear from that lad Christian. I know his armor's ruined, but you could perhaps disguise one of you with the rest of the gear.
I mean, we'd still need to disguise the rest of us, wouldn't we? So,
Yeah.
yes.
Well,
And better that it's not, armor that's falling apart.
yeah. We need to generate buzz of a concert somewhere, so the dragon knows that's where he's going to be, and then that's where it goes. So we could leave things to suggest that, maybe.
But it is part of the plan now, setting up events.
That's it.
Because I'm starting to think we should just go to the tower and set fire to it.
Let's just go have a look, and then see what we see.
That's
Yeah.
the plan.
That's the best thing to
to
do
have a look.
first before we make a formal plan.
But no, leaving something for the dragon to sort of happen across and hear about that sounds a bit...
No, to support that he's gone somewhere else. Like,
I mean, he can't be all
Some
bad, this dragon, if he supports the arts.
I don't think he supports it.
Supports is a very loose word, I think.
By support, you mean eats.
Still better than our current culture secretary.
Right. Let's go find us a dragon.
Yes.
And
Well,
not our
hopefully it's a
current
tower.
culture secretary.
Yes.
All right. So,
Oh no, that's a Gorgon.
okay. So, are you making your way up to the tower?
Yes.
Yes.
Coming?
Right. Okay. So as you step out towards the night, you make your way up the stairs out of the hideout. You are sort of waved out by the sentries watching the door. You're sort of advised to sort of leave in sort of ones and twos rather than as a big group of you. And Alwyn, are you taking Chardonnay with you?
Yes, but sooted up.
Sooted up. Okay. So yeah. So after it takes a couple of minutes as you sort of come out in drips and drabs, so as to hopefully not arouse too much suspicion. Could I have talk to me about how you're going to get to the tower? Is the intention to skulk around in the shadows, or are you going to sort of attempt to disguise yourselves and walk openly in the street?
I mean, Della wants to be sneaky.
Yes,
Yeah.
for skulking.
I was going
Bit of column A and column B there, I think. Using our cloaks and our hoods to cover our faces as much as possible, and also taking back alleys and going the, discreet
Sure.
routes.
I mean, depending on how well you roll, that in itself might be suspicious, but see. All right, let's. So as you all get outside into the chill of the night air, and night has properly fallen now. You can see the moon rising high in the sky. It sort of shines the frosty whiteness, and the chill drifts down your spine as you get out into the cold night air. Let's have stealth checks from everybody, please, as you move through the city, including from
Separate
Chardonnay.
one again?
Yes, please.
Shit, I've rolled a 1 for Alwyn and I've used my hero point. No, I haven't used my hero point in this game. No, that was last
Not this
game.
one, you haven't. That was.
Yeah.
Oh. Let's try that again.
Oh, can I try again?
If you want to use your hero point.
I'll use my hero point.
26 for Alwyn.
31 for Della.
Very nice.
18 for Otto.
Okay.
26 also.
26 for Amos. And for Chardonnay?
Fucking hell, should have left him at home. 10.
Okay.
Does he get a plus bonus because we disguised him slightly before we left?
Maybe is the answer.
Do we get a minus bonus because there's a trail of soot behind us?
There's just a black trail leading through the city.
Oh no! Now they know where we've come from. We've ruined the whole operation.
Not soot, it's dander, and he's very sensitive about it.
All right, so the five of you manoeuvring through the city. It's after dark. It's quite easy to do. You know, most people are in bed by this point. You do see a few individuals out on the streets going about, you know, some sort of business. You don't care to ask them, I assume. And yeah, you see a few sort of trolls of Winterguard moving around, but sticking to the shadows. As a group, you're able to move quite efficiently around the city, and especially as you're starting to get a sense of where things are now. You've been here for long enough that you kind of know roughly where things are. Solvig would have told you before you left that the tower in which Logrovich resides is a ways up to the north of the city, and in fact, you probably think that you might have already gone past it as you were when you originally went out to see to go to the Bone Grinder, and indeed, sort of heading in a northerly direction, sort of diving down the back streets. You come across a few occasions where you brace yourselves for interactions similar to those you had with the Snake Men, as you come across other sort of hooded figures skulking in the alleyways. But on this occasion, these individuals seem to pay you no mind. They clearly have their own concerns. A couple of them do look you up and down, sort of look to be ruffian types. Perhaps there's a second where one of them thinks of having a go at you, having a go at you all, and then you see one of his mates or her mates. You're not too sure. You can't see. Sort of takes them by the arm, and you think you hear them whispered, "Don't try it. Look at them. They're too much for us." That kind of thing.
You know it.
Mm-hmm.
And a short while later, you find yourselves approaching the northern gate of the city of Whitethrone, and you can see that there is quite a heavy guard presence around the gate. Once again, you estimate you're probably not going to get out of a gate without being stopped by the Winter Guard. However, you quickly realise that you don't need to, because on the left of the path, and indeed you have seen this before when you first came out of here, you can see that there is a 70-foot tall clock tower constructed of it looks to be of quite sturdy, solid stone construction. It's 70 feet from the base up to the top. And you see that the southern face of the tower itself, like the bell section at the top, has been opened out completely to the elements, and you can see that it is encrusted with a thick carapace almost of ice that sort of wraps around the top of the tower itself. From where you are standing, you also see the following things. You can see that immediately in front of you, kind of walking onto the edge of the road, there is a delicate-looking white picket fence that appears to be made of bone. Beyond the fence, you can see that there is a small courtyard with what looks to be a couple of statues carved from a particularly hardy tree in the courtyard itself. And you can see that from where you are, you can currently see a single step leads to a landing and a recessed set of large double doors. These statues, as you look at them, they appear to be reaching skyward as if to catch snowflakes.
Beautiful.
What do you guys want to do?
That those buggers come to life.
Probs.
We've
So
experienced
is it
that
just
before.
a tower, or is it like a Big Ben-esque building?
It's kind of like a Big Ben. You can see that the bottom of the tower is it is much larger than the tower itself. So there's seemingly some sort of complex here. Yeah.
And does it look like one would be able to scale the tower from the outside?
I mean, you sort of look at it. It looks like it would be very difficult because, as mentioned, this ice that is sort of leaking out from the open top of the tower, it coats. It looks like it coats not the entire tower, but quite a lot of it, and it seems to wrap around that you can't see an obvious way up it. So, I mean, certainly it could be possible, but it's not going to be easy.
The inside is better if we need to go in then. Right, it's made of stone, so we can't burn it.
I was thinking the inside might be wooden. Might be wooden steps all the way up. Wooden beams, wooden floors.
As you are inspecting the outside of the tower, you become aware of movement off to your left-hand side, and you look to the left and you see two hulking figures of trolls in Winter Guard livery. What do you do? They have just turned a corner and they appear to be making their way in the direction of the tower itself.
I think we should duck back out of sight at this point.
Yeah, disappear.
All right, let's have another round of stealth rolls, please.
I haven't used my hero point yet, so let's
For fuck's sake. 17 for Alwyn.
Okay.
29 for Otto.
Okay.
27 for Della.
Okay.
18.
Okay. And for Chardonnay?
22.
Ooh.
22. Okay. So as you all hustle, you see these creatures. They're far closer than you would like them to be, and as you start sort of pulling yourselves back into the shadows, you can you sort of tuck yourselves. You tuck yourselves roughly into Alwyn and Chardonnay. There's a brief moment of panic. Alwyn and Amos. There's a brief moment of panic as you're looking round for somewhere to conceal yourselves, and then from out of the darkness, Otto and Della tug you quite forcefully into this kind of little recess behind one of these buildings as you're pulled to safety. You can see these two trolls approach the tower. They stop they stop for a second. They glance over in your direction, as if perhaps they heard something. But again, they decide that it was nothing. And you see them, and as they turn towards the doors of the tower itself, you can see that they are leading with them 4 young children, perhaps no older than 5 or 6. And they stride to the doors of the clock tower. They bang fiercely on it, and a few moments later, the door opens, and the children are led inside, and the door closes. And that is where we're going to end for tonight, folks.
Oh, damn it.
Tales from the 20 Side is a Fiegel Films production in association with Juicy Falls. Music by Nazar Ryback from hooksounds.com. Editing by Stu Jackson. Find us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram by searching Tales from the 20 Side or by visiting talesfromthe20side.com.
Glad I brought Chardonnay now.
Yeah. I should have attacked them.
Oh, well, we've got time yet.
Yes, we could set up some kind of music festival to learn.
Yes.
Well, now there's kids involved. We ain't got time for that.
So do you still say don't burn the tower down?
Don't burn the tower with the children in. No, that's what we're saying.
With the
This has
dragon
turned
food.
into a
Don't
big
burn the
mess.
dragon's food.
No, I mean that's what we're assuming, isn't it? Food for the dragon.
Yeah.
I mean it's a fairly easy jump to make, I think that, but
I mean, perhaps I am being a bit bigoted. You know, I don't know that dragons eat children. I'm just making.
I mean, I can't imagine that anything is nice happening in there because they're all evil. So we'll go fix that.
maybe
Yeah,
it's
I don't
like
think
a
they're on
petting
a school
zoo.
trip.
Like, you know,
They're not
the
going to a fun
dragon.
musical event that's been
There
planned.
might be evil children who have been identified as evil enough to join the Winter Guard.
It could be.
Maybe.
The baby trolls.
The winter
Yeah,
youth.
maybe they're the Eldana youth. Who knows?
Yes, the Winter Guard cadet force.
Indoctrinated children, not evil children.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can liberate them.
Tomato,
Well,
tomato.
It's a good job you've got a liberator champion with you then, isn't it?
That's it.
Mm.
It is.
Oh my goodness. Won't somebody think of the children? That's probably the start of the next episode.
Yeah. Remember that. I'll write that down.
Possibly.
Yeah.
What if we set up a building company and then tell them that the tower needs work doing, and then we replace loads of it with wood, and then set fire to it?
Yes, this is a brilliant idea. No, because we do this, right, as a backup, because the real plan is just relocate the dragon while the renovations is going on, right? So we just move him to a different place, and then we can just do what we want. And then when he comes back, then we can set him on fire.
So just walk in and say you're from the city planning council and this building's been condemned and they've got to tear it down.
Yeah, this is a brilliant idea.
Why has nobody ever thought of this as a way of dealing in dungeons before?
Solve everything by angry letter writing.
I'm afraid
That's
the Pit
it,
of
my-
Infinite
my-
Doom does not comply with Health and Safety Regulation 47A.
You at least need a guardrail on that. It can't be as open as it is.
Or we could just send them in with a blowtorch to get rid of the ice on the outside, so it's easier to climb up.
And then put flammable cladding on the outside of the building.
Yeah.
I'm
plenty of
setting
other
up a
available.
backup character that's going to be a surveyor.
Fair enough. Go for it.
Just going to walk around with a clipboard. My weapon will be a clipboard.
That man's going to be a hedge
Health and safety. Well,
manager.
that's going to have to come down. That's going to have to come down.
Have you got planning permission for that?
This is a fire hazard. All this is a fire hazard. It's got to go. It's got to go.
I wonder if Ivy's vests are listed in the armour section of the core rule book.
Is there an RPG that's like that?
There's got to be. There
Yeah.
has to be. There
Because
really has
I
to
would
be.
love the fuck
I
out
hope
of that.
you
That'd
wash
be
your
so much
hands after you finish dismembering somebody in the bone grinder.